I appreciate my body, but I'm self-conscious of it. And I wonder the same thing. Like, why can't I be like Emma Thompson and embrace like all the things? Like, I have a couple scars because I had to have a hysterectomy. Like, I am self-conscious of that, but really, why? Like, it's just part of my story. Should I be self-conscious of that? Should I be proud of that?
I just think that it's human nature. Like, everybody is different, right? Every person looks different. They think about images differently. We just happen to be more vain, I guess. And I don't think it's a bad thing.
Welcome to Three Little Fishes. We're three sisters who grew up in the Midwest together, but have since spread across the country. I live in Los Angeles.
I'm in Nashville.
And I live in Philadelphia. We are all married with children. We've all had careers, but now we stay at home with our families.
We've all been through ups and downs that come along with life and have always helped each other through, shared stories, and laughed together.
We welcome all of you into our daily conversations and hope you have some fun with us.
So let's jump in.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for jumping in with us this morning. It's so good to have everybody join in and listen. I just want to remind everybody, if you're liking what you're listening to, or please tell your friends, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like and comment wherever you're listening to this podcast. All right, let's get into it. So Kathy and I are still up in Canada, and Linda had to head back home, and she's back in Nashville. Linda, did you get home okay?
I did. It was a very easy trip home, but it is a long trip home. I did a 20 plus hour drive straight through. Our almost 18-year-old did the last 4 hours, which is like the most brutal. I mean,
Yeah.
I think we got home at almost 6 a.m. And so that last shift is just rough. And we live in Tennessee. So it's like you get into the hills of Tennessee are real. So it was a long trip, but we didn't have any incidences, no weather, which is amazing. And so
That's great.
It was great. You know,
Is that less time than it took you to come up here?
I think it was about the same, probably. Well, I stopped in Rockford to pick Todd up on my way up and Michael, so maybe it was a little bit shorter, but it was, it's good. It's just a long, brutal trip, and I'm still a little tired. Like, being up all night is rough. I'm too old for this crap. I mean, honestly. I feel like I've been drugged through a small hole still.
Yeah, being in the car is hard.
I mean, re-entry is just tough. Like, I feel like when we get up there, it always takes me a couple of days to get my sea legs, to just sort of let things go. You're, in a cabin, in the woods. You just got to let stuff go. And then I re-entry into the world, and it takes me a couple of days to finish the laundry, get the house back in, my order, and get myself put together a little bit, which is still a huge work in progress for me right now.
Yeah.
Well, you left here tired because you had a little emergency with with Jack, your youngest. I don't know. Do you want to share what happened with Jack up here in the woods?
Sure. So I don't know, like, mentally, as our kids have aged, I kind of let things go. You know what I mean? Like, they're bigger, they can take care of their own laundry, they can do their own things. And when we have two in college, I sent them away and I feel great about it. Like, they know how to cook, they know how to do their laundry, they can manage themselves. And so I'm kind of in that phase with our youngest, who's turning 18 next week. But while he was up here in the middle of the night, like a total dumbass, he grabbed a granola bar that had cashews in it, and he runs into our room at like 1 a.m. I ate a cashew, and he is horribly allergic to cashews, pistachios, and pine nuts. So I'm like feeding him Benadryl, and he's throwing up, and feeding him Benadryl, and he's throwing. I mean, it was horrible. So, and then he broke out into hives, and we didn't have his EpiPen. Not that we've ever used the EpiPen, but I don't think he needed it. But he
But
was
also it's
probably
late.
close. It was
It
late
was
night. So we had like a rough until probably 3:30 in the morning. He was not feeling good, and we got
Well,
through it.
I think the scary
But
thing is what people, our listeners don't realize is that we're out in the middle of a lake. I mean, we are not by a hospital. Like we are
no,
25
no.
minutes, 30-minute boat ride back into the nearest
In the
hospital.
daytime, that's like how
right.
far we
Right.
are.
Right.
So, we do have 2 doctors in the cabin. I feel like I was probably on the verge of waking people up, but he was responding to his Benadryl really well. He just didn't feel good. And it just did really like drive home the point where, these young adults, they're just not, I don't know. Thank goodness I have another year with him. We had a very long conversation about you've got to read the ingredients. You can't be flip about your life. Like you could have died. And he actually said those words in the middle of the night, like, I don't want to die on the island. And I was like, I don't want you to die on the island.
Well, I just
So,
wonder, I
Well,
wonder if any of our viewers have had anything like that, like, having this
yeah,
experience of like, you know, young adult, like coming on young adulthood, like how do you manage your allergies? Like, have you had something similar? Has something helped you help these kids cross over to be able to manage this? Because it was scary.
it was
yeah.
scary and it's not fun. And it's not fun for him. I did buy him a braided black leather bracelet that has like this like black metal on it. And it's like an alert bracelet, a medical alert bracelet, and it lists the 3 things that he's really allergic to. And he just, going forward, I feel like he probably should wear that because especially when he goes off to school, I
Yeah.
mean, what if you eat something and nobody around you knows that this is like a
Yeah.
problem for you,
Well,
So
the
We
scary
had a,
thing about him is that, and I told you this, his next reaction will be worse. So he definitely
yeah.
needs to be mindful of what he's eating and like what he's around.
Mm-hmm.
and
I mean, I
his
was actually
friends.
thinking about, right,
Yeah. And
exactly.
his friends. Yeah.
Because what
I
if
was thinking
he's like,
about
and
us.
I'm not saying that he does this, not that he would like, overserve himself at some point, but
Yeah.
a friend being like, let's sober him up, give him, something with like cashews or something with
Right,
nuts that he can't eat. And even though they think they're doing the right thing, it could be detrimental. That happened to a
Right.
right.
babysitter of ours. She told us a story once where she was at college and she has celiac disease. And she said, I drank too much and I was out of my mind. People were giving me food and I was so deathly ill. I ended up in the hospital.
Scary. Well, like I think we talked about this on our other podcast. We do have medical supplies here, I think. And we actually have a medical cart that has a lot
Mm-hmm.
of supplies in it that actually has the EpiPen in it. And we have an AED. I mean, hopefully we will never have to use that.
Right.
I think I thought when the kids were younger, I mean, you wouldn't want to have like a drowning incident or something like that. I mean, it would be terrible. But we do have a medical cart, but it is something that it's not comfortable, right? Like we don't
Right.
want to have to pull it out and be performing emergency surgeries up here.
Right.
Well,
I mean,
of
we can
course
do
not.
some, I'm happy to suture people and things like that, but let's not use the AED.
No.
For our listeners at home, Kathy, what is that?
The automatic external defibrillator.
I mean, that's bad news if we have to pull that out. So,
Yeah.
but I'm glad that Jack's okay. And it does, it's a question also for our like listeners. Like, do you have a similar situation with severe allergies and do you have tricks of how you manage it?
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Send them our way.
it's a real
But
thing.
the other side of this is it's like as an adult, seemingly, you got to have responsibility for your actions. I mean, we talked about this. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I just didn't read. I'm like, you can't not read the ingredients on your food that you're eating.
Well, it's probably because he's always had more mild reactions. And so he's like, oh, even if, I mean, I know he didn't realize he ate a cashew, but he's never been scared like that before.
Yeah. Hopefully
Where
this will
he's like,
change his behavior.
And you
Yeah.
also have to remember that his brain, his frontal lobe, is not developed.
I mean, this is a
so-
clear example of that. I mean,
but I'm glad he's okay, and I'm sorry that happened. But luckily, he's okay. So
he's fine. He made it home. He was the rock star late night driver. So, yeah, but I mean, that drive is rough, and it takes me at this age, it's hard to be up all night long. It's taking me, I still don't feel totally like myself, and I've slept and done all the things.
You'll
but
have to just relax today.
Yes, today I actually can relax. Rich is out of town, so I don't have to listen to him do business calls all day because he works from home when he's not on the road. And so we have kind of like a low key day today, which is amazing. And, I will say one thing I really look forward to when I leave, like reentry into society after being isolated is tough. And there are always, it's like there's so much gearing up to go on vacation, but then there's like the unwinding of all of it when you get back. So it's like, even though I come home with clean clothes, I rewash them like a lunatic because we had so many ticks this summer in particular.
Yeah.
And I just rewashed everything. So I was like a crazy person when I first got home because I didn't want ticks like in the house. And I did find a tick on one of the dogs when I got home.
Oh, no.
So then I was like, So the re-entry from like getting the house back and doing the grocery shopping and all that stuff, it's not relaxing. But one thing I do actually love is my first shower when I get home. Because up north we do have a hot water heater, we do have a shower. It is lovely. I'm not trying to pretend like it's not luxurious in a way, but you're sharing with so many people that you are, I don't know if you girls do this, but like I scrub my face and wash my hair one shower, and then I shave my legs another shower. And like, I can't ever do everything all at once. I love to come home and take a nice long shower.
Our listeners can't see, but Kathy is starting her day with a mimosa. And I don't have one, but I just realizing she has a mimosa. And I'm like, oh, that was very smart because we are not professionals. We are learning as we go. And trying to do this in the wilderness and back in a city and trying to like do all the setup, I'm not great at it of trying to troubleshoot how to get all this up and running and recording in different areas. So I feel like I could have used a mimosa this morning to like help me think better.
Our text person
makes everything better.
Left. Todd was not here to help me this morning, so I was a little slow. But now we have new guests in camp now. So we're still on vacation. Peter's brother is here, Steve and Sarah and their family. That's fun. It's fun. So we made
Linda
some monkey bread this morning, and Nancy made banana muffins.
Yep.
Is that right, Nancy?
So Linda was just talking about her reentry, though, because she was saying that cabin life is amazing, but, there's not a lot of hot water. So she was talking about how she loves to be able to, like, have some personal time in the shower.
Yeah.
And not worry about
personal time, but like, but just like scrubby time. I was just like, it's good.
When you got all appointments set up, which is nice.
Yeah. Well, it was so ironic because I got back into town and then I was on social media and I saw this interview that Emma Thompson was doing. So Emma Thompson is that British actress, director, writer. She's amazing, and she's in her mid 60s, I think. And she was telling the story about how she started hating her body when she was like 14 years old, and how at her age she's let herself go gray. I think she's notorious for being nude on her farm in England. And anyway, she was saying she is working on just loving the vessel that she's in. She's just all about trying to just embrace what has carried her through life and done so many amazing things for her, which is her body. And she is really working on that. And it got me thinking about how my reentry, I look forward to my shower, my shaving, my all the things, and how I don't love my body that way. Like, I don't want my hair to be gray, which it still is. I don't go in until Friday, and I don't want to have natural nails necessarily. Like, I'm getting a pedicure today. And, I spent probably a half an hour in front of my, magnifying mirror, plucking the hairs from my chin and trying to reshape my eyebrows because they were like bushy, crazy caterpillars, even though we do have a mirror up north.
I bring my magnifying mirror with me.
Well, I have one in my
with it.
bathroom, but for some reason I feel like I never have time to do all the things I want to do. And it just takes longer because I'm old, but that part of reentry is brutal because it's so time consuming and I just need it. So I'm not Emma Thompson. I just can't do it. I don't know if that's normal or not normal. And it's not that I don't love my body, but I don't want it to be gray. I'm not a pretty gray person.
Yeah.
I'm
I
just
don't like
not.
gray hair.
Those ladies that have the silver hair with the bob and that gorgeous skin and they look at me. I look at them and I'm like, you are a goddess, but I don't look good like that. And it's just...
So it's interesting that you say that because my mother-in-law, she's let herself go gray, but I think it looks nice on her. Like she can pull that off. But
Yeah.
I am with you, Linda. I started going gray very early. I haven't been coloring my hair because I want to be cool. I've done it because I don't like the big skunk mark down the middle of my part. And I often wonder too, why, I don't know. I just haven't embraced that either. And my daughter this year got bikinis for the first time and she's 9. And she was like, Mom, I think you should get a matching bikini with me. That would be so fun, which is amazing because pretty soon she's not going to want to match me in anything, but she wants to have these matching.
We see that coming.
Yeah. And I'm like, but I don't feel I appreciate my body, but I'm self-conscious of it. And I wonder the same thing. Why can't I be like Emma Thompson and embrace all the things? I have a couple scars because I had to have a hysterectomy. I am self-conscious of that, but really, why? It's just part of my story. Should I be self-conscious of that? Should I be proud of that?
I just think that it's human nature. Everybody is different, right? Every person looks different. They, think about images differently. We just happen to be more vain, I guess. And I don't think it's a bad thing. But I wouldn't want gray hair either.
Yeah. It's not great. For me, it's not great. I feel like it washes me out. It's not pretty on me. I will say I am pretty good about I still wear a 2-piece and I'm probably carrying around 15 extra pounds. So I'm not this felt super toned person. That's not what I'm saying. So I do feel like I can manage that, but it's the other stuff that I can't. I don't want natural nails. I want my eyebrows done. I don't want chin hairs.
Yeah.
I don't want gray hair on my head. I try to so when I re-enter, I do feel like it's a little bit of extra work because all those things I haven't really maintained when I've been gone as well as I would when I'm home.
Kathy, I remember you had this it looks like a lipstick, and you
Hmm.
swear by it for like your face, and you don't go get waxed anymore. Like, what is that thing?
Well, it kind of looks like a lipstick
Hmm.
case, and you open the top, and it has like it's not a razor blade, but it just,
It's like an
um,
electric razor or whatever. Yeah, like
yeah,
round spinny. I know what
it's
you're
called
talking about.
a lady shaver. So they're like
A
very
burden.
inexpensive.
Yeah.
And like I've had mine. I think I've changed out the little electric razor part because sometimes they do get dull. But I mean, it's a really great thing. I like mine.
Yeah, and way more affordable than like having to go get waxed every, couple of weeks.
The
It's
Yes.
only
all the
secret
things.
I would say with it is I always alcohol the top of it because you don't want to get like, it can get irritating and you can get some pimples from it. So I
Yeah,
usually always clean it with alcohol and clean my lip with alcohol so I don't get
yeah.
any like ingrown hairs and things. But
Smart.
I like it. So check it
Good
out.
tip. Good tip. You can get it at Walgreens.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's like a little.
I just thought about it because Linda made me think about like chin hairs, and I'm the same way. Again, I want to be Emma Thompson, but I
I
do
want
not
to
want to
too.
feel like I
Can't do it.
don't want to feel like I have whiskers like an old man on my face. I don't want that. And I think it's amazing people that can do that. And I wish, as you would say, Kathy, I'm too vain, I guess. Like, and was I born this way? Do I just feel the pressure when I look at magazines? Like, and I really try to be very careful about talking in front of Johanna, my daughter, because I
Thank
don't
you.
want her to, I don't know. Like, is it learned? Is it ingrained in me? I don't know. I don't know.
I think, it's important to just give yourself grace. Like whatever it
Yeah,
is
I
that
think
you like, just give yourself grace. Try and do all the things. Like I think as we age too, it's so important. We've talked about this before about getting enough sleep, eating enough protein, drinking enough clean water so that, you can be as healthful as you can. But the rest of it is just do what works for you, I think. For me, it's coloring my hair and getting a pedicure. And I have this face scrub that I use every single day. It's like a skin polisher. And I did take it up north, but for some reason, I feel like I never have enough time to like really, really get in there. So we'll put the link at the bottom of the podcast so you can see it. This is such an amazing brand, Zoe Skincare, I think it's called. So
Kathy, do you use a face shiner? Is that what you called it? Face scrubber,
it's
face shiner,
polish. It's a face
polish?
polish.
Do
It's
you
an
polish your face,
exfoliant.
well, I don't think I
Kathy?
have something like that, but I have like an exfoliator I use in the shower.
Hey, listen, you got to do what you got to do.
I think our mom actually wants to have a beauty day today because we kind of talked about it yesterday, and she was saying that her feet are getting in need of some care. So I think I get that job. I become like
The anesthetician.
the pedicurist. I become. I've actually colored her hair up here before too. The hairstylist. I don't know
You're
if
very,
Nancy's going to need anything today either.
well, you are very good at it. So if you're offering services, I might jump in on that show. But Mom always says that you have to take care of your feet because your feet are part of your health. So she doesn't think it's a
That's
glamour thing. She believes it's part of your health, right?
well, we asked her like why she cares like when she's up here about her feet and her hair, and she goes, "I do it for myself because it makes me feel bad when I look in the mirror and my hair doesn't look good and it's gray." And
Yeah.
then she said, "My feet just don't feel good." So she goes, "I really do it just for me." I said, "You don't do it for Dad?" And she goes, "No."
Good. I
And
love
I
that for
think I
her.
feel the same. Like, I don't think I feel like I want to look good. I mean, I don't think I do it for Peter. I mean, I guess in some way I do, but like, I think I do it for me. because it just makes me feel bad.
You know what, Kathy, though? I mean, you and Linda are both beautiful people in general, but I always think about when you're talking about beauty, like I always think it's so funny because you've always been beautiful and I think you're aging really well. But I go back, you were in the military, you were a dentist in the Navy, and you had to do you remember when I came and visited you when you had to do like officers training? And
Yes.
I was meeting her somewhere and she had to be in her dress white. She was coming from a meeting. She had to be in her dress whites. And I am not kidding, Linda. I don't know if I ever told you the story, but
People stop in the streets.
She literally
Stop
traffic in her dress
She's
white.
a goddess.
Like what? Yeah. I was like,
she's a goddess.
Yeah, it was like amazing.
Hardly.
Yeah, no, yes, it was like so. You've
Embrace
always
it,
been
goddess Kathy.
Goddess Kathy. That's right.
Oh, please, you guys.
You're aging with such grace too. Like you look so good.
No, I think it was the uniform. People always are.
Kathy, I mean, I honestly,
you in the uniform.
You in the uniform with your blonde
you looked
hair,
amazing.
like you were like, I was like, literally traffic stopped. I just was like, wait, what is happening? I'm like, oh, it's Kathy.
Kathy on the streets.
Yeah, look out, world.
Makes you feel good. Yeah, it's awesome. You girls will be re-entering civilization again in a week or so, 2 weeks.
Yep, a week.
So
and then I have to go to a wedding.
Yeah.
Like right after I get back. Like on my way home, actually.
Yeah.
Which I'm feeling
it will be interesting to hear your routine. I mean, I think there is like a post-vacation syndrome that's real. Like people get back from vacation and they just feel so overwhelmed and depressed and all the things. I don't feel that, but I do feel like a little excitement about kind of getting myself back to standard. So I'm getting my hair colored on Friday and my toes done today, and it'll help.
I think anytime you have to stop vacation is kind of sad. For me, anyway.
I might have to dry out a little bit. Like I feel like I've been a little really
boozy.
Leaned into the wine, and I've leaned into all the treats.
Our beer o'clock afternoons.
Our beer o'clock. That's right.
Yeah. That's pretty nice.
It is fun though.
It is. But it is nice to get back and eat your normal foods again and do your workouts. Your normal routine is sort of nice to get back to also.
My husband and son had to leave, and I miss our animals. So that would be nice to kind of, but we've enjoyed it. So Linda, now that you're back, what is for dinner?
So I will say one thing that I have really enjoyed since we've been back is eating a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables, which are harder to get when you're up north. So tonight we're actually doing a pork and broccoli rice bowl. I'll put the
that sounds
at the bottom. So it's like clean, simple, high protein, easy. We would love rice bowls at our house with a little protein and veg. So that's what we're doing, a sort of like a peanut sauce.
We know Kathy enjoys rice bowls. Anything with the bowls.
I love those.
I love them too.
Sign me up.
Yeah, I love them too. They're super easy and you can have leftovers. So, yeah.
Well, Sarah and Steve brought some, I'm pretty sure they brought us like pork tenderloins to eat.
Yum.
So maybe if we have leftovers, we could make some.
Make a little rice bowl. Well, I hope you girls have a great day on the lake. It looks amazing there. I'm sad to not be there, but I'm also happy to be home. And sleeping in air conditioning, by the way, is lovely.
Well, last night actually it was cool. And I actually got under my duvet and hid myself because the fan was blowing on me and I was too lazy to get up and move it. So I was just trying to hide from it. But I think today and like going forward for the next couple of days, it's going to be hot.
Well, get your sunscreen on and enjoy your day.
Well, we want to thank you for listening to our podcast and letting us sisters jump into your day. Please make sure to follow, rate, and review us. We want your feedback. Please enjoy your summer weekend from Lake of the Woods and Nashville. Sisters out.